Welcome to Clartingggg Cancer, your #1 podcast where we keep it real. Grab a cup of tea and chill out with me, your host, Antiq, aka Miss Vintage Twang, Miss Butterfly Queen, the composer, vocalist and lyricist, qualified practitioner and empowerment influencer. Hi, I'm Antiq. I'm a composer, vocalist and an empowerment influencer. And I am your host, Miss Vintage Twang, aka Miss Butterfly Queen. I have a lot of other AKAs which I will let you know about as we go along, as we proceed indeed. Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome again to Clartingggg Cancer. I'm your host, Antiq, and we are going to have a story time. I'm still here in the park, sharing and caring. I care because I want to raise awareness of this important matter. I'm sharing because I've got a testimony. I feel like I'm a walking testimony, to be honest with you. Literally. I am. Yeah, so on with the story. So I've gone into the doctor's room, shut the door and sat down. And the doctor's like, tell me what's been going on. Tell me what's happening. So I brought out my book. Remember I said, write in your book. Brought out my book and I said, it happened on this date and this date and this date, every single thing and where I'm at. And you know what, doctor? I'm just anxious. Like, this thing is causing me mad anxiety to the point where it's just a lot. Like crying, worrying, just all different things, because at this point I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's what. I've just got these assumptions, guessing and thoughts and Dr. Google, all these circumstantial kind of things. At this point I don't know what the real is. So he's like, okay, what we need to do is we need to push forward and get this investigated as soon as possible. So I was like, okay. And he's like talking to me. Yeah, we're gonna do an ultrasound. So I've had a baby. I know what an ultrasound is. You put a blob of jelly on, you put it on the place where you want to see what's going on, and you get the ultrasound and you scan it and you find out. So I'm like, cool. Then he's talking about some other stuff. Talking about, yeah, and sometimes on some people, what we may do is we may do a biopsy, and sometimes we may do a core biopsy. I can't remember the name of it because I have chemo brain. I will put the name of it in the description. My head that flew over my head because I was like, cool, I'm just going for an ultrasound. That's what I thought. Cool. So he's like, yeah, next week. I'm like, next week? I've got things to do. Like, I've scheduled this, I've scheduled that. I've got so many things going on. I'm thinking I'm trying to record my EP. I'm doing a whole load of things. And he's like, well, we need to do this as soon as possible. And he then, sorry, I'm doing wasp control here. He then forwarded on my referral. Lord have mercy. Sorry, I'm scared of things, you know. I'm going to be real. Me and my sister, Janelle, who's not coming on camera, we're in the background trying to like duck and dive and save ourselves from flies and bees and spiders and ants and all sorts. So where was I? Okay. He's like, yeah, next week. I was like, okay, cool. Ultrasound next week. Remember, he's told me that there might be biopsies and core biopsies and this, that and that. And I did say, oh, what's that? And he's like, well, usually we just do like, you know, it's like a needle. And I'm thinking, needle? No, I don't want no needles. Like, but, you know, not everybody needs that. That's what he's telling me. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to have a ultrasound. I'm just going to have the thing scanned on my neck and Bob's your uncle and boom, boom, boom. So like, he's like, yeah, there's a next one which is a small syringe, and then the next one which is sort of like a core biopsy, which is like a gun. I'm thinking, gun? Okay, well, we're not doing that, because he's telling me we're just doing this, but he said on some people. So I'm thinking, you're not telling me I'm that some people, you're just telling me that I'm gonna have the scan. Fast forward, the day of this scan, I was all right. I was calm. I was a bit anxious, but I was calm. Go there, I'm thinking, listen, I need to just hurry up and get out of these hospitals. I don't even know why I'm here. I've never been in a hospital in my life like that. I don't even hardly go to the doctors. So I just want to hurry up and get this thing done, find out what it is, and hopefully it won't be that, and move on with my life. Going to the hospital room, yeah, I swear to God, the man was like, can you lie down? So I laid down and I'm looking up and I'm thinking, sorry, thought something was on my head. I'm thinking, oh my God, am I gonna die in here? Like, I don't know. It's like the room started closing in, the walls started closing in, and the ceiling started getting smaller. And I'm thinking, wow, what's going on? And obviously I was having some mad anxiety. So they done the ultrasound. I'm already shook as it is, yeah, with anxiety. Thinking, I don't want to die in here. I just want to go home now. Like, I need to get out of here quickly. Going into fight or flight mode. And the man was like, yeah, so I've had a look, and on the screen I can see da 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 and biopsy. And I swear to God, all I heard is the man going, I don't know what he was saying. I don't know what he was talking about. I don't even know where I was. I just felt like, I don't know, it's like time froze. I don't know what he was talking about. The nurse was there as well. I just stopped him in the midst of what he was saying, and I said, can I just go to the toilet, please? Because all of a sudden I just need to go to the toilet. I got up and I went to the toilet. I went in the toilet and I started crying. And I was thinking, you know that game show, I think it's No Deal or Deal, and you can phone a friend? I was like, I need to phone a friend. So I phoned my brethren. They never picked up the phone. Can you imagine? Oh my God, it was mad. I phoned my mum, never picked up the phone. I phoned my next friend, my cousin. I phoned about 4 people and no one picked up the phone. I was thinking, Lord of mercy, what am I going to do? Because all I heard was this, that, biopsy, stabbing me in my neck. Like, that's all I remember. I was like thinking, you're not stabbing me in my neck. That's how I interpreted it. Like, the man wants to stab me in my neck. Why would I want to do that? And I don't even like pain. And it was just crazy. And I just had some mad panic anxiety attack. So I started crying in the toilet, and like I couldn't breathe properly, all of that. And then I was trying to phone a friend. No one weren't picking up. I was on my own. I started praying. I was like, God, please, I don't want to do this. Then I remembered my mindfulness, which my mindfulness mentor taught me, R.I.P. Garvey. I thought, what would Garvey say? Because he passed away in January of 2021. So by this time, it was a couple months after, and I was thinking, I just remembered Garvey would just say, breathe. So I breathed, and I breathed for a moment, and I went back in. I wasn't crying to the point where you could see, like, my face was all puffy and my nose was dribbling and all that, but I was crying, and you could see that my eyes were a bit red. So the nurse was like, are you okay? And the doctor was like, I know you're going through stuff, but we really need to move forward with this, and I do have to see other people. I'm thinking, okay, but like, I'm having a bit of a crisis here. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and do this. Like, all breathing all crazy, yeah. People thought I was a mad woman, yeah. I didn't care though. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It's like, what I can do. And then this time, my hands feeling tingly, my feet are feeling tingly, my whole body's feeling like tingly, like lightheaded and all sorts. And I'm like, what is really going on? And you know, when you're breathing fast and the air's just coming in, and I don't know, I was just panicking in it, but I was trying to breathe at the same time. So the nurse kind of talked to me a bit, and the doctor's like, oh, I can show you the thing if you like. It's not that big and rare. This is me. Okay, that was the worst thing the man could have done. I just see one gun, like a pellet gun. That's what I'm thinking. This is a pellet gun. You want to stab me in my neck with a pellet gun? I was like, no, I can't do this. This is just in my head, by the way. A lot of these things that I'm telling you is in my head. So they're just seeing my bodily reactions. They're not seeing me talking, hearing me talking. They're just seeing me acting crazy. I lied down, yeah. After, I was like, okay, I need to do this. He was like reassuring me. He's done this so many thousand times. I'm thinking you could slip. When I'm reading all the things that it could happen, it can go into my nerve and it can thing my neck and I can end up like this. I'm thinking, no, you lot ain't doing that to me. That was the most scariest thing, the anxiety. Anyway, I laid back on the table, looking up at the ceiling, feeling like I'm in ER. I'm on some patient on the ER channel, yeah, or whatever that program is, yeah, doctors or whatever. And I'm thinking, please, I don't want to die on this table because they're going to stab me in the neck with a pellet gun. The needle's quite big. If you got a phobia of needles, it's not helpful. Like, I don't like needles. Like, I mean, I've just got used to blood tests, but I don't like needles. I don't want to stab myself with needles. When he showed me that was peak. It was even worse. Anyway, I laid on the table and I looked up at the ceiling. And I felt like, please God, I said a prayer. I was like, please God, I don't want to die on this table. Just please protect me. Please don't make him drop it or his hand wobble or him have some spasm or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, anything can go wrong. So I laid down. I started shaking. Like, my body started shaking like this. My body was like this. Well, it felt like it was like, you know what I mean? But my body started shaking. And the nurse was like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm not okay. Like, I just started shaking. I think it was a trauma response. Like, I felt traumatized. Like, the whole thing traumatized me. Going to the hospital, finding out about the suspected cancer on the letter, going to speak to the guy telling me that I'm going for an ultrasound, but when I get to the ultrasound, they're telling me they're doing core biopsy. Not even the minor one, you know. They want to do the big old stab in the neck, bullet gun, whatever. I said no, because it's literally a gun and they click it, yeah, and it sounds worse than it feels, and it's okay, and I was all right. But I'm just telling you how I felt when I went through that. Where I was shaking and I was going through some mad out of body experience, I was like, I don't know what was going on. The doctor was like, okay, you know what, I think like we need to postpone. And I was like, sorry, I don't mean to be like this. They probably thought I was crazy. Maybe they seem worse, I don't know, but I felt like I'd never experienced anything like that in my life before, and I'd never reacted like that. I know I've had anxiety in the past, but that level of anxiety was different. So if you do respond like that, it's okay, is what I'm saying, and it's a normal reaction. Eventually they postponed. A week later, I think I spoke to the doctor, same doctor that referred me to the biopsy team, the ultrasound team. I went in, I was more prepared. What I did was went on the old Google again, and I literally watched a YouTube video of somebody who was going for a core biopsy, and they're just sitting there relaxed, and it was like nothing. So I was thinking, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I think for me, and I don't know about you, for me what helped me is I don't need to be rushed at bam, 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 bam. I need to process things. I need to read. I need to understand. I need to get my head around it. I need to talk about it. I need to think about it. I need to let it soak in before I actually move to the next stage. That's one thing that I've noticed about me, is because I can become overwhelmed with anxiety to the point where I'm just like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing it. I'm not participating. I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. I just want to go home. When I got to the first time, I said, the guy never told me that I would do this today. Like, he said, sometimes we need to do this. He never said, sometimes we need to do this. And I think they're called a sonographer, who take imaging, or the ultrasound person, sometimes on the day they may say we need to do that. It's not good enough to just have a ultrasound scan of the lymph node. Like, so I wasn't aware. I was aware that this may be a job, but not you're going to do it today, you know. So just be mindful that might happen, and you may have to go for a biopsy. And there's 2 different types. I had a core biopsy. So on the day of the core biopsy, they cleaned the area, and they made a small they then done anesthetic. That kind of was a little stingy, but not really. It was okay. I got through. And I held my friend's hand, because on that day I didn't have someone. So the next time that I went back, I said to my friend, I need someone to come with me. I need you to hold my hand. So they came with me, they held my hand. I don't know how they watched that thing happening to me, but boy, it was a lot. So they held my hand. I had to turn my head to the side. They cleaned the area, and they done the anesthetic, local anesthetic. I was awake, and they made a small incision with a scalpel. I did feel a little like, not pop, but a kind of like pressure. Then it was in, and then it was time for the biopsy. Then I told them, I need you to tell me what you're doing at each stage. So you're going to insert in a needle now? Okay, we're inserting a needle. The needle's in. Okay, now I'm putting the solution in of the anesthetic. Okay. Now I've done that. We're going to wait a bit or whatever. Then the next thing I'm going to do is get the scalpel and make an incision. And then I'm going to tell you when I'm going to do it. And right now, you're going to feel this. Like, you need to talk me through every step. Otherwise, I don't want no surprises. I don't want surprise. Because I will jump up off the table and leave. And that is dangerous. So you need to work out what is going to get you through and prepare yourself. And if you're not ready on the day, then it's okay to reschedule. I'm not saying it's advisable to reschedule, because it's best to get diagnosed, deal with it straight away as soon as possible. But you have to do what you need to do, because your emotional and your psychological health is as important as your physical. So that's my advice. Next, they made an incision. They put the biopsy gun into the incision, and they told me when they was doing that. And then they said, now you're gonna hear a clicking noise. So you don't feel anything, but it's the clicking noise, like it's very loud because it's next to your ear, depending on where you get it. Like, obviously you might have a biopsy somewhere else. I had it, my lymph nodes is very much near my ear. And they do it a couple of times, like click. They take the sample, put it on the dish, and then he was like, yeah, I want to take another one. I'm thinking, you want to take another one? Bro, I just went through that whole ordeal. You want to do another one? I'm like, okay. Wait. And then he waited, and then he did it, put it in, and done it again. Then the man's talking about doing another one. I said, no, I can't do another one. I can't do it. Have you got enough what you need? He said, yeah, I think we have, but I would have liked to get... I said, no, I don't want to do it again. He said, okay. So that was that, and that was the end of the core biopsy. I got up, I got through. Oh, I think they either... I don't think they stitched. I think they put, like... They may have done a stitch, but I think they put the stitch in, like they got these like sellotape stitches or something. I think they done that. They may have done one stitch actually. But I didn't feel that because obviously the anaesthetic. I got up, they told me the aftercare was, don't do any strenuous exercise, don't run, don't do this, don't do that. You're going to feel a bit of pain after, which I did. It was a little bit swollen, but not swollen like that. It was bruised a bit. I may get some bruising, which I didn't get. Couple days after, it was okay. I just got on with life and it healed up quick. And if you look at my neck, you would never know I've had a core biopsy. And then it was time to wait for the results. And I will tell you about what happened that in the next episode.
Don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section or leave a message, as I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions within the up and coming podcast. This is your host, Antique. I am open and I welcome you. Stay tuned for more on Clartingggg Cancer.